If I could go back in time, I would tell my younger self this. You don't actually have as much time as you think you do. If you take the average lifespan, excuse me, I'm kind of sick. If you take the average lifespan of a human being, a person, it's 77, uh, 80 years, right? Approximately 80 years. And if you take the number of weeks in a year, that's going to be 50, again, approximately. So in uh if you just multiply that, that's going to be 4,000 weeks, right? Let that sink in. You're going to have 4,000 weeks for everything. Everything, every plan that you have right now, every plan that you will have at, I don't know, 25, if you're not 25 yet, you're gonna have at 35, you're gonna have at 45. The plan you had at 10, if you did it, if you didn't do it, the first time you took your breath to the last time you take it, you only have 4,000 weeks. Oh, just 4,000. I remember when people would, especially older people, obviously, who would tell me, kind of cherish these years and you don't really understand how fast time flies by. Um, really, do something in this time, especially when you're young. Don't waste it. It's like, nah, I have all the time in the world, right? I have all the time in the world. I don't care. And I wasted my years doing stuff that definitely I would have chosen some other stuff to do instead of them, right? And I'm already going to be turning 20 in a couple of years, okay? Y- You don't really have as much time as you think you do, right? Time really just goes by like this. It isn't really um, stopping for anyone. You can't really control time, right? I mean, it's something everyone knows. You can't really control time. But yet we still waste our time, our life doing shit we don't want to do. Shit we absolutely don't want to do, or are kind of like, Do I really want to do this? I don't even know. Or you're not even paying attention to it. Attention is a word we can come back to later. But why waste this short amount of time that we even have, right? And 4,000 is by no means a lot. If you're someone like me who's just kind of like, I mean, I'm good. I kind of am enjoying life right now. I don't really have, um, you know, life is kind of good right now. 4,000 weeks seems all right. Wake the fuck up, okay? Wake the fuck up. What were you doing last week? You can't answer that, man. You, what were you doing last Thursday? Nothing. Did you actually enjoy what you were doing? Let's say you had an answer for that. Did you actually enjoy what you were doing? Don't know. Is it actually going to lead you somewhere to somewhere you want to go from like this point to the next point? Don't know. No idea. That is wasting time. So 4,000 weeks is by no means a long time that you have, right? It's by no means a long time that you have. So we know that time's not in our control and we only have this short life that we can really do anything in. So what should we actually do? Like, what am I trying to tell you with this is two things, okay? And those two things are the first thing is time is a bitch times a bitch. No one, no one controls time, right? No one controls time. I don't care if you're like you're Elon Musk or you're Tom Brady or you're Messi. No one can control time. But remember when I said we're gonna come back to this? What you can control is your attention. Attention is basically just what you spend your time on, right? So that way, time isn't really in your control, but attention is. The last 5 hours, let's say you were in class, then you spent scrolling on Instagram, and you had a snack, right? So your attention wasn't really where it needs to be. I'm assuming that you have other goals than just scrolling and eating snacks. So you just wasted those 5 hours in a way, right? So attention is what we need to focus on because that is what we can control. We can increase it, we can decrease it, and it's going to be our greatest asset to get shit done, right? But there's two problems to this again, which is people don't really know what to pay attention to. And you might be, kind of like, what the fuck? Pay attention to. I mean, I know, like, pay attention in class and those kinds of things. Pay attention in class if you really want to score grades now. It's like, pay attention to the things you want to succeed in. Pay attention to the things in which you have goals, right? The goals you want to achieve. But the people don't really have their goals defined. Most people never will, by the way. Most people will just spend these 4,000 weeks just like this. And, be like, what kind of a life was that? Well, you never really paid attention to what you actually wanted to do and then paid attention to the things that's going to help you get there, right? So, first of all, is going to be set some goals up. Okay, I want to achieve that physique. I want to um, make money in some way. It's maybe a job. It could be a business, excuse me. It could be, I don't know, content creation. It could be making movies, whatever. It could be anything. And other goals are, okay, I want to find a girlfriend. Like any goals, you have to define them, right, to actually be able to work on them. Otherwise, you're just gonna get back from classes and no wonder you're just gonna lay on your bed and gonna be okay. Like that's just gonna be you. Okay. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. Like that's gonna be you. And it's kind of not even your fault then. Because if, for example, if you had your goals defined, then you would be, for example, like this, where I came back from my classes and I knew I had to record today. So I knew what my evening would look like. Okay, I'm gonna get back from classes. I'm gonna get ready a bit and I'm gonna sit and record and then I'm probably gonna do something else after this. So I knew what my evening looks like today. But if you haven't defined that, if you don't have any goals defined, then how will you decide what to pay your attention to, right? So that's the first problem to the attention thing. The second problem is how how will you control your attention? And what I mean by that is because we have spent years doing it, right? Even I'm no exception to this. Even I'll scroll sometimes, even now. Back then, it was really worse, right? Scrolling, doom scrolling, right? Not even just scrolling, gooning everything, right? Everything, eating like shit, mm, being extremely inconsistent in the gym. Like, oh, you went one day, like that doesn't count. that type of thing. Do you actually gain control on your attention? Because right now it just feels like I'm just kind of, um, like life is just going on. I'm not even doing anything, right? How do you change that? Well, it's a really large topic, so I'm gonna explain it in a future video. But what's really gonna happen is you're gonna have kind of depression in self-improvement. And what I mean by that is you're gonna figure out, okay, I need to define my goals. Okay, so I need to eat clean, I need to learn about this craft or whatever that skill is, about that career. I need to get good with women, whatever that thing is. But because it's so ingrained in us, you're still gonna find yourself kind of scrolling, right? Jerking off, those kind of things. When you know I don't need to do that, right? I shouldn't be doing that. I can't skip the gym today. I need to get that like aesthetic physique, but like I still skipped the gym today because I was doom scrolling or something, right? So the second problem is how do you gain back that control? So to this kind of 4,000 weeks thing, uh, I can probably leave you with these two kind of action steps, if you want to call them, which is first, really decide what to pay attention to, right? What's that thing? I'm assuming you're kind of like me around my age where you get back from classes and it's like, okay, so I'm going to do this now. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to record or I'm going to do something else. I'm going to study, those kinds of things, right? Then these 4,000 weeks kind of um, theory, whatever you want to call it, right? It might seem depressing, like why even do anything in these 4,000 weeks? And so whatever I'm doing right now doesn't even really matter because the next week and those kind of things. And so to really end this, I want to leave you I want to leave you with this mindset. I'm sorry for that. I want to leave you with this mindset. And um, to tell you, I'm just gonna give this analogy. Imagine that you're out with um, the boys, right? Imagine that you're out with the boys. Okay, imagine that you're out with the boys. You're having a good time. You're really enjoying, and you see a cute girl looking at you, right? You know what that kind of mean, right? You know that you should actually go up and speak to her and those kind of things. So you can, like, you have a decision to make at that moment. You can either, kind of be a bitch and just, nah, it's all right. She must be looking at someone else, like that kind of thing. Or you can kind of own up and you can just go um up to her, right? And do your thing. And again, two things are gonna happen when you come back. She's gonna be like, okay, yeah, this is my name, this is my number, or Instagram, whatever. We can go on a date, and those kind of things. And you're gonna come back, and you're gonna be hyped. The boys are gonna be hyped, and that evening is gonna be really even amplified after that. And you're gonna have the one of the best nights of your life. But the second part, which I know everyone's waiting for, is when she's gonna be back. When you go up to her and you go, if I can have a number and those kind of things. And it's like, no, I have a boyfriend. Maybe that might not really hurt that much, but what if she said, I'm not interested? No, I'm not interested, or no, you're not my type. Those kind of things, right? You're gonna come back to the boys and your evening is just gonna be ruined. Like your friends might even fucking roast you and those kind of things. it's gonna be one of those nights of like, well, kind of. But if you actually look at that objectively, it kind of doesn't make sense. And what I mean by that is, if she said yes, your whole evening was it got better. It was like one of the greatest nights you've had, right? But if she said no, it has just become this worst kind of like, why did I fucking do this? That kind of thing. That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna say on the story, so um it was on Instagram. I saw this tennis player. I'm like, I don't know shit about tennis, okay? I don't know any fucking thing about tennis. But I don't even know who that guy was, but I am pretty sure it was either I'm pretty sure it was either Nadal or it was Federer, right? You can figure that out. But he was giving this speech at a university, and he made this point really nicely, excuse me. And what he said was, when he's playing a rally, right, when he's going back and forth with the other tennis player, that point is is like the most important thing in the ball. His whole focus, his energy, everything is on that point, trying to win it. He's going back and forth, yeah, hitting shots and everything, trying to win the point, of course. But this is the important part. As soon as that rally or that point is over, even if he wins it or he loses it, he's on to the next one. He focuses on the next one. He pays his attention to the next point, the next serve, right? He forgets about whatever happened, even if he won or he lost. He doesn't care about it anymore because he's focusing on the next one. And that's gonna happen in life, right? That is like it's just one of those things that's gonna happen every day. Well, your workout might suck today. That doesn't mean you should quit the gym. You go up to a girl and she says no, you bomb it. That doesn't mean you should never approach a girl anymore, right? You have an idea, you have an inspiration, you act on it, and it doesn't really work out. That doesn't mean that you should never really take action or do anything, right? It would be like, you'd be a fucking idiot to not do any of those things anymore. So when you're doing something, right? Whether you're going for a PR, when you're approaching a girl, you're on a date with her, whatever, you're starting a business, you have an idea, those kind of things. When you're working on them, absolutely, it's the most important thing that you're doing at that time. Pay all of your attention to it. But no matter the result, always be ready for the next one. Always be ready for the next one. Just kind of have the, oh, that was a bad voice break. I have a really sore throat, but I'm still recording. Kind of like a win, but whatever. It's Kobe's birthday on 25th. But anyways, so don't have this kind of loser kind of mindset, right? Like, imagine Kobe would never be, okay, yeah, you know what? I lost that game last week. In this game, mm, just because he lost one game doesn't mean his whole season. Nah, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not aiming for that championship. Right? You can never imagine that being a thing. Like it just doesn't make sense. Right? When he was playing that match, okay, fine. It was absolutely the most important thing, but no matter he wins or loses, the next one, the next one, right? Job's not finished. Okay? So don't have that kind of loser mindset and pay attention, right? Is attention is absolutely the most important currency you will have. So, all right, never give up.